What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on Peg City Hockey. I know it's been a while since I've talked Jets on the channel. I've had family visiting from Fort St. John, my two little cousins and my aunt. We took them to their first ever NHL game. It was the game against the Jets in Vancouver, and it was just been a really fun week with family. So I figured I would just take the week, spend some time with them, and let's just talk about the games, kind of all in one, and just a, conversation video. There's not going to be any real edits, it's just going to be background stuff and my voice in this one, because I want to talk about the Jets and their play of late and going into the final stretch of this season and what I think the Jets are going to be looking to do as a team and what they might be looking to improve from these last couple of games and what we can kind of expect going into the playoffs, because we know what this team already is. We know the identity of this club. We're seeing how well the additions from the trade deadline are meshing. Brendan Tanev has just been incredible. Like I knew he was going to bring energy to that bottom six. You could just tell in his first game even against Philadelphia, but I think that he's exceeded my expectations and he's just really helping getting that fourth line going. And that fourth line was pretty good all year, but it lacked production, and we're really starting to see it pick up as of late, and he is a big reason for that. But getting to the entirety of this team and what they've been able to do as of late. So, you go back and you look at after that Dallas game, which was the last time we really talked about the Jets. The Jets go into Seattle and they beat the Kraken 3-2 in overtime. That was a pretty good game. It had its ups and downs. The Jets obviously showed some cracks, but they were able to battle back and get the points when it mattered. And in my opinion, that's all that you want to do, honestly. Like, that's all you can do in a bad game like that, is battle back, find a way to get some points, and that's what the Jets did. They go into Vancouver. Now, I was very excited for this game. A lot of Jets fans were. The building was packed. And honestly, the Jets played a decent game at times. But what really, hurt them at most in this game was, some weak goals by Connor Hellebuyck. I think that Vancouver game was Connor Hellebuck's first bad game of the entire season, which is kind of crazy that when you think we're pretty much at the end of it and he's finally had a bad game. So it shows just how elite Connor Hellebuyck has been all year. Obviously, the Jets weren't perfect as a team either, but I really thought that was the biggest, blemish on the Jets in that game, was just Connor Hellebuyck just let in some bad goals. Obviously, there were really bad turnovers, and it wasn't his entire fault. That was just one of the things I noticed from that game, as I bet a lot of people did as well. But it wasn't a good team game either. The Jets had some moments, but, they just showed some cracks, and the exact same way they did in that game against the Kraken. Obviously, they're on a road trip, so at the end of the year, they're still working things out, but at the end of the day, you expect to see an improved play. And then you go into the game yesterday against Edmonton. On Thursday, not yesterday. I'm getting my dates confused. But the Edmonton game, I think, showed a step in the right direction, but also, again, exposed the same problems that we had seen in the last two games. Now, obviously, the Edmonton game ended with a much better result, with a great goal from Brendan Tanev, again, who has just stepped up and has been fantastic so far for this club. Like, just that goal was so huge. And then, obviously, Kyle Connor getting that game winner in overtime. Huge again, 37 goals for Kyle Connor, 86 points. The Jets become the first team in the NHL to reach 100 points, and that's huge. Connor Hellebuyck also becomes the first goaltender to win 40 games on the year. And, everyone's like, that's great. The Jets are back on the winning track. They beat a team in Edmonton that's, a pretty good team still. Let's not lie. Edmonton's a pretty decent team. And at the end of the day, there were some cracks, but the Jets found a way to win against a good team. And I think the biggest thing I'm starting to see from this trend of these last three games, in my opinion, I think that the Jets, I think we need to look at resting Hellebuyck a little bit. Now, it's not, panic, Hellebuck's bad, everything's over, blah, blah, blah. It's nothing like that whatsoever. But I think when you look at the workload that Hellebuck's had, you look at the fact that the Jets pretty much have a lock on winning the Central Division. That's going to be the first time in franchise history that this team wins their division. So you've already accomplished that. You're the first to 100 points. Hellebuck's already the first to 40 wins, and also fastest to 40 wins, I think, in for a second fastest for the U.S. born. I can't remember the exact stat, but regardless, we know the history that Connor Hellebuyck has set this year. So why keep trying to chase for more? You've already got the best start in NHL. Think about everything the Jets have accomplished this year already. The records that they've set. I just don't think that you've already proven to the world and the league, and you've put everyone on notice that how good you were this year. You did. And I think that, going into the playoffs, I think that now is the time to honestly just strategize, just kind of customize the lineup a bit more, see if you can find some hitting chemistry, some alternate, line chemistry that might be good, potentially bearing an injury in the playoffs or anything like that. Just experiment a little bit more. Obviously don't just throw away these last games. It's not what I'm saying, but Eric Comrie had a very good stretch of games where the Jets just shit the bed in front of him. Let's be frank. It was kind of sad for him. He's had a really good year, and he should have way more wins than he does because the team just wasn't able to score in front of him. I think at this point of the year, why not put Comrie in? Maybe the team gets hot in front of him. Maybe he's able to get some few more wins. Look at what the team did last year to Brossois and how they didn't give him enough games and enough wins to even get on the trophy, even though for the Jennings. So why not do that for Comrie? Why not try to give him some more wins? Why not give this guy a chance to also build up his game a bit more in case he needs to play in the playoffs, God forbid, right? There's just, now's the time of year to just give Hellebuck that extra couple of nights off. Not even, maybe even 2 in a row. Why not? But I think that just at this point, why keep, playing Hellebuck the way you are? Why keep trying to roll out the exact same thing when teams are starting to really show that they can find your weaknesses? I think that now would be a good time to, just experiment a bit more. And if you don't, you don't. This team's already elite. They're still winning games against good teams. And I know the Vancouver game obviously had a very high score. And like I said, not Hellebuck's best night. But then you bounce back with a good win over Edmonton. And yeah, it wasn't a perfect game, but you found a way to win and you get it done in overtime. That's all that you can ask for in a game where you're not playing elite perfect hockey in a perfect hockey game. And, against a team that finds a couple good goals on you or whatever, that happens in sport. So you have to find a way to combat that, and the Jets have. But at the same time, I still think that if you are able to just work on building up some other chemistry and just fiddling around and giving a guy a night off maybe every once in a while, maybe get Kupari back in or something like that, why not? Obviously they're giving Luke Shen already time to travel back to Nashville to be with his family, so why not do something else like that? Maybe not obviously letting guys travel around. I'm not saying everyone's time for a vacation, but I think that's a good thing that they're doing with Luke Shen. I think that builds chemistry and trust with the organization. I think that that's the exact type of thing that the Jets should be doing right now as a team, is gearing up mentally for the playoffs, because they've accomplished everything you can want, stat-wise for a season. Now they have to mentally check in. I want the entire team looking like Sidney Crosby in that championship game at the Four Nations. I want the entire team as locked in as Crosby was at that. And I think that we're going to see that this year. We're already seeing it from the play. I know the players are determined and they have a chip on their shoulder after last year's, but I think that still you want to see that this team goes out there and does its best. And I think that at this point in the year, maybe give a guy a night off, find some other chemistry, maybe promote a guy that's, been playing really good as of late and see if you can find some hidden chemistry with somebody else. So stuff like that, reward some players. And I think rewarding Eric Comrie as well with some more starts, he's earned it. And I was one of Eric Comrie's biggest criticizers going into the season. I was not happy with him as the backup option. So now at this point in the year, I'm saying, hell, give him some more games. He's earned it. So I just want to see the Jets keep doing what they're doing because they're killing it, and, promote some other guys, give some other guys a chance, rest some of the bigger guys, and mentally prepare for this big game coming up, because we know what the first round is, and the Jets need to overcome it. I think they will. I know you all do too, and nonetheless, I am so damn excited for the playoffs. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed listening to me talk Jets hockey. If you did, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, check out the links in the description below, subscribe if you're new. Thanks so much for watching. Peace, love, and positivity as always. Go Jets go, and I will see you all in the next one very, very soon. It'll all be over.